Down, 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da down 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 down. Down da down da diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle diddle down da down da diddle down da down da diddle 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 da.
G'day and welcome to the first Ball Boys AFL Fantasy live show for 2026. We've got a huge show counting our way down into round one. Let's go!
Hodges done it from nowhere. Hoisted the goal from inside the 30. Sheed from the boundary. Dusty.
G'day and welcome again to the Ball Boys AFL Fantasy Podcast. I am your host, Mitch Casey, and you can find me on X at Ball Boys Fantasy. You can find us on Twitter at Ball Boys AFL. And I am here for the first time live with my co-host, Luke Rogerson, coach of the Mighty Oxlongs. Big expectations for you this year, mate. How are you doing?
Oh, mate, expectations don't worry me. I always have high expectations for myself, and I'm looking forward to driving away in my Tundra come the end of the year.
Yeah. They call you the Tundra Man.
Before we get, they do. They don't, but they do. But before we get into anything, we have to share apologies that we are a little bit late jumping on because we went to get in and Mitch unpaused our mics and then proceeded to karate chop his beer across the room. So he's covered in beer.
There's a little bit of evidence still with a bit of foam, but
so we're creatively working out ways to fuck this podcast up, and we found a new one. Spill your beer all over everything.
Well, the issue is I was cool as a cucumber over here. You've been the one rattled this afternoon. You're panicking. You're listening to the Twitter sphere. You're deep diving into the Patreon chat. You're pulling players out of the side that have been in there for the entire preseason. What's going on? What's going through the mind of coach of the Oxlongs?
You don't want to be in this mind. There's something about preparing to do the first live show of the year, and also preparing to make sure that your fantasy team is good going into the round one. That just didn't quite work well for me this afternoon.
Yeah. It's a stressful time, but what does make it less stressful is the fact that we don't have the subs to deal with, which I think is a huge blessing. I remember this time last year, like we had players who were supposed to be sub, and then they weren't sub, and then we were waiting for the hour before every game to lock in our rookies. We at least know that they're going to play at least 40%. You might be able to say someone like a ZZ played 44%. They'll at least get a little bit of a crack at it, and you won't have anyone playing sort of your 5% on field like a Luke Trainer.
Let's hope so. We did have footy last night.
We had footy.
We had some footy, and
one game into AFL Fantasy, you and I both already cooked the rookie roulette.
Yeah, we managed to do that.
Cooked it.
It's always the way. So both of us started grill off the field, and
I tried my best. I tried to moz him at quarter time.
Yeah.
Thought it worked. You know, he had 40 points, 2 points in the second after the tweet. Tried to moz him, just slow him down a little bit, but third quarter, again, bang, just went another 38 on top of that. So
it wasn't a good night all round, was it? Because as Richmond fans sitting through that.
Oh, nobody won last night.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking to myself, I mean, at a certain point there, Carlton fans were reaching for their memberships and the microwave. And to be honest, even though they won, I still think that the membership is being stored very close to the microwave. It's just a matter of whether it actually goes in and gets turned on, because I don't think either group of fans probably walked away happy with last night's performance.
There was a bit of this at some points. It was not the highest quality of footy, and I swear, when they said, I think at some point, they said, there's been 46 minutes since Carlton have kicked a goal, and I thought to myself, and yet we're still fucking losing as Richmond. So yeah, it was
it felt impossible.
Not a great fantasy game and a football game. The other thing that happened is we had Sam Walsh in our sides. A lot of people might have faded him, but he went really good in the first half, 66 points, despite not being all over the field.
It felt like the kind of score where he hadn't really struggled to get to that score.
Yeah.
You felt like there was some upside potentially there.
And then the third quarter came around and he just went missing. I've also seen since Carlton didn't put up 1,500 points as a team in that game. And if you don't score 1,500 points against Richmond, that's a bit of a flag. And it kind of felt that way, that like there wasn't much going on from a fantasy scoring point of view for Carlton in general. I think that they're really bad. And I think that could be the only thing, like the role for Sam Walsh, the tick for how he looks and how he's running around the ground, I think is all great. I think the only way that he's going to be a bad pick is if Carlton just suck tremendously.
The bit that was kind of worrying to me is when Richmond did start to bring a little bit of heat and get a bit of momentum going, is that Carlton didn't kind of default to more of a possession game style and try to kind of take a bit of the sting out of the game. It definitely felt like they kind of experienced that heat and just whacked it on the boot. There were a couple of times where
burned.
We were watching Walsh so closely. He's got burnt on those like inside 45 kicks, or just didn't even bother going for them.
Yeah.
And then I
wonder, like, because he knows that they're not going to bite off those kicks, if that leads to him not bothering to go from these, just running to the next stoppage, or if that's an instruction. I don't know, hard to say.
It's still early in the season, but there is one play that I want to point out. If you were a Walsh owner, there was one play where I thought he laid a brilliant tackle, and it probably should have been holding the ball.
Yes.
Instead, that holding the ball turns into
holding the man,
and you end up with effectively like an 11 or 12 point swing. So fantasy is well and truly back, because if you were watching that as a Walsh owner, that just brings up all the
those
fantasy
ifs
feelings.
and whats and buts. I think that was in the third quarter when he had the 8 points.
Plays elsewhere, I think.
Adelaide, he does. We had a premium, though, also playing in that side. He's the cheapest premium going around. Jagger fucking Smith. This guy's a jet. I thought he was a chance for forward status. I thought it was a good chance for forward status. I don't think he played much forward last night. I think he was pretty much purely a CBA midfielder.
And Carlton ended up running a really tight midfield mix as well. So Walsh, Cripps, Hewitt, and then Jagger.
Yeah.
And basically outside of that, it was nothing. So he looks really good. Did you see that he was quite clearly the leading possession getter after quarter time, but not the leading scorer, I don't think. So
no, yeah.
A few handballs and stuff in there, but I mean, for a rookie price guy, this to me reeks of Nick Dacos, Harry Sheasel, a rookie that
we sort of said this, like, he's got that class about him where he's that tier above, Sam Walsh in his rookie season where, like, he could average 85 this year, and I don't think anyone would bat an eye.
No, I mean, there's even a chance that there's a point in the season where we would typically be looking to trade our rooks, and we might even say hang around for a bit, young fella.
Yeah, I think a lot of that will depend if he gets like forward status or not. I think round 0 he looked like he had a bit more forward role. This game, not so much. So I think he probably needs more forward time to get it than what we saw last night. But I want to check these teams out, Luke, because there is a player that I want to see. I'm going to skip right ahead to the Sunday teams because I want to have a look at Port Adelaide to see if Jordan Sweet has been named. He is an emergency. He's an emergency. This was one that I was looking out for as a potential Vicentini owner.
Yeah.
He's an emergency. So that's a good sign if you were looking for him at either R2 or R3.
I think we're all looking at the Rucks because obviously no Riley O'Brien for Adelaide as well. It was good news for McAndrew R2 operators, just for McAndrew operators in general.
Mm-hmm.
What do the other trimmed benches look like for those Sunday teams?
So in the same game, I think a lot of people will be looking at the North Melbourne list and to see what they're doing. You've still got McKercher on the bench there. They've cut Coleman Jones bench and Hanson Jr. So Luke McDonald made the team. I think one of the notable people that isn't there is who was my rookie from last year? Is it Hardiman?
Oh,
yeah, Hardiman. He was cut. So I think
hard to watch.
Yeah, hard to watch. A lot of people are panicking about Colby McKercher and the fact that Blamires could be kind of forcing him to go up the ground a little bit more, but it could be the fact that he's replacing someone like a Hardiman instead. I was kind of hoping that Caleb Daniel might be the one to get cut, but he's still there. What are your thoughts? Are you panicking on Cole? Because this is one of the ones you were...
I am somewhat panicking, but the reason I'm panicking is not necessarily because he's been named on the bench or anything like that, but because I'm hearing word, and I didn't get to catch the traders last night, but I'm hearing word that the traders are cooling on McKercher, and given that I'm assuming that they're likely in a group chat with the fella, I feel as though that's as much finger on the pulse as you possibly need, given how close they are to Colby. So that makes me a little bit nervous, and we know the traders have their fingers on the pulse just in general as well. So. I'm interested to see what the chat thinks about this one as well. So if you have Colby thoughts, whether they're good, bad, or ugly, I reckon get them in the chat as well.
So the other Sunday squads getting trimmed. Let's look at the West Coast Eagles one because that one is interesting. Emergency Tim Kelly playing as an emergency, and your boy Finn McRae didn't quite make the side. But into the team, you've got is it Jacob Newton? He is a cheap forward, I want to say. And so he wasn't completely, solidified in there, named up. You've also got an interesting player, Milan Murdoch, has been named as a rookie. He is another SSP signing.
Yeah, I saw this.
Late. And apparently, from what I have seen around, he had really big numbers in the juniors. Also, he's a bit of a Caleb Daniel operator in height, stature. So,
right.
apparently that's the information that I've got.
Was that important, Mitch? Or
No, just thought it was an interesting fact. Okay. But I think he plays a bit of midfield in the juniors. I don't know if he's going to play midfield in the Eagle side, although Tim Kelly not being there maybe opens up a little bit more possibility.
Yeah, good news. I mean, it doesn't really change too much, but good news for McCarthy as well, for people who
McCarthy,
are hot on him.
Potentially for Robertson, more CBAs there, potentially.
Yeah. I like that move from West Coast, just fantasy aside. I think that's good.
I like it too.
Fellas.
Is Graham's in the side, so he was one of the ones that missed a few of the preseason games as well. So
I expect him to go back to the role he played last year.
I expect him to see some centre bounce time. No changes for Gold Coast from last week, so they will roll out exactly as they were. The last Sunday game, where I've kind of done these a bit out of order, the Melbourne and St Kilda game. Not too many changes here. Max Heath, the emergency. You've got our boy Xavier Lindsay on the bench. Not too much. Basically, everyone is there that we sort of expected to be there. Again, you don't really read too much into where players are named, but Caleb Windsor is named as a follower.
We've got a couple of themes that we want to talk about, just kind of key round one themes, and we want to leave as much time for questions at the end as we can too. But there's something that you want to let the people know about beforehand.
We're going into opening round and also this past round, I'm started playing Game Day Squad. I don't know if you're across this, Luke, but did a pack opening a few weeks ago. Pulled out my cards, managed to pull a diamond for the first pack opening ever, which apparently is pretty good,
mate.
And I won some prizes in round 0, mate.
If you're going to pull something, it may as well be a diamond, right?
So, won some prizes in round 0. So, I got a few extra cards up my sleeve. I did tweet out yesterday my round 1 team. So, if you want to check it out, you can see what I'm starting with. I'm trying to do it without spending a single cent. Okay, so that's my challenge for myself this year.
I think we're going to be talking about it on our Monday show as well, just to kind of recap how you go, and if you have any questions about it, obviously you can hit.
But if you do sign up to Game Day Squad, use promo code BALLBOYS, and you'll get three free player packs. Say that 3 times fast.
Okay, what are these kind of key themes that we're looking at going into tonight's game in round 1?
So again, this podcast, it's a very selfish kind of self-indulgent thing, but if, for example, hypothetically, Luke, you had a Sam Walsh VC last night, you're not really happy with 100, you're not going to take that. And if, hypothetically, you were kind of the guy, let's call them a content creator that, really was pushing for the red dot rookie, to loop.
It's hard for me to visualize this person.
Would you now be backflipping on that a little bit and now going with a cash generating option at R3? And if you were that person in that situation, what kind of player would that be? Would it be a Vicentini? Would it be a ZZ? Would you gamble with a Geelong ruckman who's a 230k ruckman? Would you go the Eagles guy? What should we be doing at R3 if you're not going to use that VC loop from last night?
Oh, look, I mean, you're the king of the backflip, in fact. Simone Biles should be your nickname.
Oh,
The thing is, I don't have to worry about this because I was locked away with Vicentini as my R3 prior to last night. So I didn't really have to do any team restructuring or reshuffling. But I can see the predicament that you've left yourself in because you were happy with your team and now you're having to find cash to potentially bring him in.
Yes.
The trouble that I have with some of the guys that you mentioned that aren't named Vicentini is I don't hold out much hope for either A, job security, or B, scoring potential as well. So ZZ is a guy that you mentioned, played really well in the preseason game.
The temptation with ZZ is that he's already got a price movement on the board. He's going to be going up cash, but he's got around 2 bye. So you get 1 game, then he's gone. And then what do you, especially with a player like that, like the buys, like you always worry it's a bit of a reset. I know they've got some players missing, but
the trouble I also think there is that I mean, he
Draper's come back in as well.
He could become a red dot for you if you're lucky, but if you want to then move him to a red dot, you're using a trade. And I just get the feeling that in this period of the year when we're doing fix-up trades, you're not going to want to allocate a trade to just dropping this guy that's only had 2 price movements down to a red dot. It seems like a nothing trade.
So what I've done, I have gone away. I'm going to be once again, same as last year, which works very well for me, but this time I don't have a VC score that I'm ignoring. I'm going to be going 30 green dots, and I think I'm going to go Vicentini now that Sweet is the emergency. One of the major reasons that I want to do that as well, Vicentini, he's starting at 539,000. When we get to round 5, and I want to move in a red dot at that round to use as my loophole, I will be able to do that with a player that has a bit of money on their head, okay? The worry I find if I was start a Mitch Edwards or a ZZ, come round 5, they might only be worth like 320k, and that 90k you're going to make going from that player to a 230k is probably not going to be enough to do anything else on the other side, okay? Yeah. And so that makes it really limiting in terms of what you can do, and I did want to put myself in that situation because I do value that red dot come the end of these early buy rounds. So Vicentini, hopefully, as long as he doesn't go backwards in cash, which is possible, but hopefully he will at least give me a price rise on the other end of things, where I can make cash, and it also is helpful for that round 3 coverage. If I'm starting a Tim English, I believe both Vicentini and McAndrew have a good fixture in that round if they're both still sole rucking. West Coast for Vicentini, and McAndrew has Geelong. So
on Vicentini, I don't like that Swede is kind of waiting in the wings.
That makes me nervous.
But we've said this before as well, is we don't expect Port Adelaide to be losing games early in the season with the run that they've got. And hopefully what that means is that there's some stability in team selection, and also that Vicentini can do well. The thing I am worried about is him getting punched out at some stage this week.
This week is the big one, right? So
by the swinging arm.
But the other thing, right? If they're not going to go the dual ruck with Sweet and Vicentini against Tristan Sherry, do we really expect them to pull that against Essendon, where they've got Blackiston, or West Coast, where you've got Flynn? I think
this was the week.
If they're going to do that, they would do it now, and then they might even go the other way. But if it's going to be sole ruck this week, I think you're going to get at least 3 to 4 weeks, touch wood, assuming they play well and they beat the teams that they should beat.
So if you're thinking rucks, that's kind of where we stand. Where do you stand on the other end? Is it still English?
It's still English for me. I just think, I know it's a small sample size. We saw the ruck contests were in the mid-90s in round 0. Last night, 82 ruck contests. We haven't seen many big ruck scores, honestly. Even in the games that were high, there hasn't been some great rucks playing, but Darcy Cameron's been the best scorer so far. He's in the same vein as English. I'm still nervous about the ruck position. So especially if I'm going to have cover now with Vicentini, I feel comfortable going with Tim English as what I think is going to be the number 1 ruck for the year.
You mentioned off the top that we are just so well qualified to talk about rookie roulette because we are what is it? 0-1.
0-1.
0-1.
Hey, we got Jagger Smith on field. So
yeah,
did every single other person.
That is worth a pat on the back. But rookie roulette across the board this weekend. Where are the positions where we're going to have to play roulette?
Okay, so we've probably already played and lost, but in the defense, okay. I am going Josh Lindsay. Is it Josh Lindsay? Yeah, Josh Lindsay.
Get to know your teammates.
I'm Big J Lindsay and Lockie Jakes are the ones I'm going to have on field.
Frenchman, Jacques,
yeah. Scored a 76 in round 0 against Brisbane. Big game, close game. If he can do that, I feel like that's a fieldable score. I felt like he looked comfortable at the level. The team used him. He took kick-ins. So that's why I wanted to put him on field instead of Grill. I hadn't seen him in the team under a proper game. Obviously, maybe we'll get to get another swing at that next week. But the other thing about having a Grill on your bench, next week, if you've got a Houston, or if he's in your midfield and you've got a Sam Walsh or a Tanner Bruin or something like that, you're going to be looping him on anyway. So these guys that maybe pop some good scores on your bench, you won't even need to do a restructure next week because you're going to have buy-round players. So you can have a few weeks to have a look at it. But in the back line, those are the 2 rookies I'm probably looking at. Sarong is another one that people might be considering putting on your field. I think against Brisbane Lions, the wing position is very volatile. Like we saw it in that game. Massive first half, quite a second half. I think the matchup to me there is just not as strong, but that's where I'm at right now. I think the bigger conversation that we still have to discuss, and we obviously haven't locked anything in yet, is F6.
Just before we do, sorry to ruin your momentum there, but if you are persisting with, if there's a world where you're persisting with Zeke Uland, even though we dropped a stinky score, is there a chance you bring him on field for a decent matchup?
I don't think so. Last week was an easy matchup.
The other guys that you've talked about have a far more friendly role.
Agreed.
For
and
rookies in fantasy.
more time on ground, I believe, in their sides. I don't think you go Uland, even though he's got what you would consider a good matchup.
Okay, sorry to derail you.
No,
F6.
F6. We've probably got 2 or 3 options depending on who you've got at F6. Leo Lombard versus David Robertson is probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
But then there are also some people who may be rolling with like a Todd Marshall.
Yeah.
Maybe they're at F6. I could lump him in there. I don't think we're probably going Doveston. He's probably staying on your bench. So it's probably those 3 guys. Who is the best option at F6? I find, especially the split between Lombard and Robertson, the hardest one to differentiate because you've got a worse role in Lombard with a great matchup.
Yes.
Looked good last week. You've got Devin Robertson, who you would say a harder matchup. It's not the worst matchup, mind you.
It's a great role.
But it's a better role, at least from what we saw in the practice match.
Yeah, I'm tossing on this one as well, and I'm thinking about the decision. But Leo Lombard, I think, kind of showed enough against the Geelong Coast Eagles last week that I think potentially this week's matchup is quite similar to what we saw from the previous.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was able to get on the scoreboard is reassuring as well.
Yeah. So last week he had 15 disposals, 4 marks, 4 tackles, 2 goals, 2 behinds.
That's a I think
it's a pretty good score, and it's a pretty good way of getting that score too, I find.
He's kind of scored in multiple ways.
Yeah.
And if he does that again this week, I'm not surprised.
I don't think you're surprised.
That looks like a high half forward stat line against West Coast, right?
Yeah, it does.
Whereas
Robertson, what could he do? Is the fact that Tim Kelly's not there like a little minor boost for him?
I mean, I think that he is going to play the role that he was already playing in the AAMI Community Series game.
But in the AAMI, he was the highest CBA game. I don't think he's going to get that many CBAs.
I reckon he's pretty damn close to it.
He was like the leading guy. You got McCarthy and Reid are going to be ahead of him.
Jack Graham's probably going to be.
Graham, I think he's at best 4th.
So is it a tight 4 rotation like we saw last night from the Blues?
Well, who else would they have in there? I mean, probably.
I think it could be.
I don't think they've got too many other guys that could. I mean, if Murdoch, if he maybe gets a little gig in there.
I think they might have pinch hitters, but this could be the tie break that maybe pushes you towards a Lombard.
Elliot Yeo is probably the one we're forgetting. So he's probably in there.
Maybe that's a tie break that pushes you towards a Lombard because we haven't seen David Robertson with Jack Graham yet, and what that maybe does. Does he spend more time on the wing? Because he has spent time on the wing.
I think the wing's probably going to be more where he is.
Who are you going, in a word?
Right now, I've got Robertson on my field, but talking this through now, I think maybe I'm switching to Lombard.
Yeah, these are...
Fucking flip a coin, eh?
They are, razor's edge decisions. So, but, yeah.
Lombard looked good. I liked what I saw. So, yeah, I think maybe we lean there. But, again, we're going to have chances to loot these guys in the coming rounds.
Last thing we want to just quickly discuss before we do some big boys is just like writing these round 0 scores.
Yeah.
How many do we feel comfortable with? Is it the right thing to do to just get that instant cash gen?
So again, this is a little bit of a selfish reason I put this on the run sheet, because in order to get my Vicentini cash, this is what I've done, Luke. I've taken a Lockie Doveston down to a Ty Gallup. And I've also taken a Dersma, 350,000, down to a Michael Selwood. Now, am I as confident in those guys playing for weeks and weeks? Are you gonna chuck up over there?
Yeah, just listening to you talk about the changes in your team.
I thought you had the Philippus back again.
Are you even serious about winning the Tundra?
Well, these guys have a guaranteed price movement in their score system already. And am I super confident in a Doveston anyway? Like he's a forward pocket for North Melbourne. Would I rather just have a guy who's got the runs on the board, plays for a better side? Maybe I move him off after round 1. Do you think that's reckless?
Round zero is tough in the sense that I think prior to round 0 coming in, you kind of preach this like, don't have knee-jerk reactions and stuff, but that's what round 0 is, isn't it? You've got to kind of factor in the fact that you're going to make some cash. So I'm a little bit split, but in this particular instance, I'm not going to kind of go and chase some of those like Gallup, your Selwood, your Charlie Cameron, like these types of scores, and I'm going to try and kind of stick maybe mostly with what I had.
I think for sure there's risk. I think the thing that's making me feel like I'm going to do it is, one, I'm going 30 green dots, so if one of them gets dropped and we never see them again, I don't actually mind now. 2, there's a few players like your Murdochs, like the Watkins from Port Adelaide, 230k midfielder. He's a mature age pick. There's some of these mature age guys which I'm not sold on, but if we get another look at them, it could be just a fix-up trade. And if I have a double price rise from these guys I'm starting with anyway, I should be able to trade in any of those rookies if I like them. It relies on me not having other major issues to fix in my side. But I think there's just a little tiny, bit of safety net there. The other thing, especially specifically with Ty Gallup, is that I don't have a round 2 buy in my forward line. So this allows me to loop that final position at the F6 spot next week instead of having to play rookie roulette. And anytime I can avoid playing rookie roulette, I will fucking do it.
Yeah, which is something that Sean points out in the chat as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Sean.
All over it in the chat.
Great minds.
Do you need any time to prepare yourself, or are you ready for me to throw to you and your big boys? Oh, okay.
I don't have the sunnies, so we'll do something else.
Go backwards.
All right, yeah, let's talk some big fellas. Woo! Let's go round 1. First of the season.
I hope the music played. That's normally a thing that doesn't happen.
Did you not hear it? I thought you...
I heard it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But I've heard it sometimes and not everyone else hears
technology, yeah, what can you do? So we had a big boy play last night. And again, reminder, if you want the big boys on Thursday before any games are played, go to patreon.com/ballboys because those guys get it the day of Thursday before any game of footy is played. Because last night we did have a big boy. Now, unfortunately, this time it didn't work out at Sam Welsh. He was at number 2 on my big boys. What a great tune. Number 1. Should I go number 1 first or number 5? Should I count up? I'll count up. Number 5. I've seen him.
Well,
yeah. Well, down or up? I don't know. Whichever way you look at it.
Yeah.
I've got Noah Anderson. I've seen him from some other experts, which apparently I am not one of anymore. Some other experts have him
I
highly.
specifically requested that.
Yeah,
I've been doing some work in the background.
He is someone who scored 100, I think it was 104 in round 0, with a little bit of attention from the motion in the ocean. I think he's going to bounce back in a big way here. Big matchup.
You don't get moistened twice.
No, you don't get moistened twice, especially not from West Coast.
He's a bit of an environmentalist, clean ocean.
He loves it. He is sometimes a bit of a yo-yo, however, and Christian Petrarca...
Plays for West Coast.
Other team, yeah. And Christian Petrarca could cut into his points a little bit.
He's eating his lunch.
And that's why he's at 5, not higher. But he is someone that I think as a unique play you could put as a captain. Okay. At number 4, and I believe he was the number 1 on the Calvin's captains from last night, so he might be a popular one. I've got the big llama Timmy English against GWS. He smokes these guys. He scored back-to-back, I think a 129 and a 122 off the top of my head. They were both 120s last year against them, and that's before the rules favoured him. Last year, Briggsy could come up and, elbow him before they jumped. Now he can't do that anymore. So I think that's points for him. Still a little bit... Rucks in general probably stops him from going higher on my list, but he is the number 1 ruckman I have for this round, and I think he is a legit captain option.
Yep, I like it so far.
Number 3, and I think this one could be a bit of a unique one if you want to be a little bit, fruity, although there's fucking good reasons that you could go here, Connor Rosie. Now, the question is he midfield or is he defense? I think... While Ollie Wines is not there, I think he plays midfield this week. What say you?
I like the logic. My question back to you is, does it matter? I know it was West Coast in the practice game.
It matters from a DVP point of view. North Melbourne are a bright green matchup for midfielders.
So you actually want a bit of midfield this
You
week.
want midfield, okay? So you want midfield for his scoring, I think. They were almost, I think they were orange or even a red team for defenders.
Yeah, I vaguely remember too.
So if he's midfield, I think big ceiling. So that's the reason he's not ahead of Sam Walsh. Maybe he should have been. But at number 1, it's his teammate. It's Zach Butters. He is the number 1 big boy. He's who I'm going to be captaining now that I've swung and missed on Sam Walsh. Think about how Zach Butters looked against West Coast and also how he looked in the State of Origin game. This is a guy that, to me, from the eye test, he looks hungry. He looks thirsty. And I think he's pedal to the metal right now.
Both of them. He should sort that out, mate.
Yeah, he needs a bit of oak. Hungry, thirsty. So I think he is going to come out and kill North Melbourne. The only risk for him, like he's had high ceiling games, even last year where he averaged under 100 just. He still is a player that has a high ceiling. Yeah. The only reason he doesn't usually hit those ceiling games, tags, attention. I don't see North Melbourne coming through and doing that this week. They don't really have players to do that. So, Zach Butters, first number 1 big boy of the year.
Two of the 3 top 3 playing for the same team. Any concerns? Will there be enough points to go around?
Not in a matchup like this.
Yeah, no.
If it was a more neutral matchup, then yeah. But a North Melbourne matchup, I think, and I believe is that one. Where is that one being played? It's at Marvel Stadium. But I think Zach Butters is just going to feast, and Connor Rosie. I mean, like we said in the West Coast matchup, those boys were looking for each other. If they're both in the midfield, I think it's just going to be just chip to chip. Easy money.
It could be. If it's anything like that Amy series game, it will be absolutely fantastic.
Remember that was in like 60% Tog, remember? 156% Tog. He's in form. As much in form as you can get in round 1.
Yeah. Sounds weird to say, but
yes.
Zach Butters, we love watching that guy play.
So let us know, guys, if you're going to be going Zach Butters or if you're going to go someone else for your round 1 captain.
Before we get into one of our other favourite segments, Lucas has jumped in with a super chat. Lucas from the Patreon as well.
Oh,
and says,
my nemesis in keeper.
Says, thank you for the preseason and shouting us a drink. We appreciate it, Lucas. Thank you very much. Also has a question, but thoughts on Colby to Houston. Lucas,
I want you to take this one because you are thinking of doing something similar.
I'm in the weeds with you, Lucas. I'm in the fucking weeds because the talk that I mentioned at the start of the podcast just has me in my head about this whole pick. And look, the reason I don't consider it completely just fucking outrageous or egregious is because I kind of just see it as buying myself a week. Do you know what I mean? If I bring Houston in and he even takes the park, he's going to make me 90K. Mm-hmm. And then I'm well within my powers to move him to McKercher. Now, where this goes wrong is if I have forced trades elsewhere, if Houston comes out and does another, like it does 110 again or something, now I'm thinking about, okay, shit, is this a guy that I have to hold as well? So it's not without its risks, but is buying myself a week on Colby McKercher the right play, or am I being a bit reactionary here?
I think that there's a play that this is the right play. I think the hardest thing about Dan Houston is the potential conundrum it could put yourself in next week. And if Colby does come out and look really, really good, how are you going to get him in if Houston also goes really good? There's a few things you can ask yourself there. I want to share with you this quote, Luke, because I think you'll love this.
Oh, is this going to be inspirational?
Well, potentially, one way or another. This was at the press conference after their win. Coach Craig McRae was asked, it was to talk about Houston, and he said this: "We want the ball in Dan's hands. There were clear instruction. Dan takes all the kick-ins. Let's get him the ball. Let's get the ball in his hands. He's such a weapon. Probably the best kick in our team." That's a juicy quote. There's clear instruction for Dan to take all the kick-ins, Luke.
Yeah, I want to know how much of Dan Houston's paycheck is being siphoned to Craig McRae. Jesus. What is going on?
I also think a lot of the things about like the reasons people wouldn't go with Dan Houston and think that he's a trap is that you would point to the St Kilda matchup. I think a lot of the points that were scored that were St Kilda-like, and people point to like Billy Frampton and all these guys that also scored well.
The waxing
a lot of that was in the last quarter. Dan Houston was not a part of that. He was on the bench. He got an unlucky rotation. So I think his 120 is a more... It's more accurate than those other players' inflated scores, if that makes sense.
I partially agree with you. The thing that I slightly disagree with is that the last bit was St Kilda-like. St Kilda are good to score.
It was the whole game, yes.
St Kilda are good to score against because they have a fallback type of defense.
So
but you're right in saying...
I'll take the concession. I don't think he's going to average 120. I don't think he's going to do that.
Appreciate you taking that concession. Yes, look, I like the stat. And I mean, I've been leading the charge for the last 12 months of saying, like, if you're Collingwood and you've traded this guy who is a kind of perennial 90 guy, great ball user, like, it's horrific for him to be
such
averaging
a waste.
60. So I think that all the things that Craig McRae is saying, are things that I'm expecting him to say as well. It's interesting that it just seems to have taken till this long for them to kind of put that into action. But they've had a whole preseason to think about it as well. Yeah. So maybe... in behind the scenes, they've been thinking, okay, well, this season we can't allow what happened last season, and so I take your argument.
Yeah. So I think it's a fine thing to do. I mean, transparency. I have both in my side. So I still do like McKercher. Yeah. I'm still confident to go there. Who would I rather? It's a tough call. But yeah, I think it's if you're worried about McKercher, I think it's a fine move to make. Yeah. Especially if that cash is it. Yeah, you're saving 120k. If that cash does something for you, even better.
As it stands, Lucas, I've removed McKercher and have put Houston in. But the way that I'm throwing the baby out with the bathwater at the moment, that my team could change.
While we're doing super chats, I think Tim had one at the very start of the episode.
Sorry, Tim.
Right to the top there.
Tim's super chat at the start. So Tim asks Houston and Windsor, or Houston
and McKercher,
or Windsor and McKercher, and Parrish and Windhager.
Okay. Houston, Windsor. Okay. You're the Windsor man. It's a bit of a different structure here. Which do you prefer? I'm probably, it's a bit of a price difference, but I'm Houston and McKercher. That's how my team is
That's how your team. And interestingly, my team is Houston and Windsor. So I think the last option for me, Tim, is not the one that I want to
Windsor McKercher.
Yeah, I think that we can go and get that price rise from Houston. Like I said, he just has to lace the boots up, and he's going to go up 90k this week.
Yeah.
Which is something that we can't.
I think Windsor's the guy you can have a look at. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if either one of those guys go poorly, you just go down. You just go down to Windsor, and you can make cash and do something else there. So if you have the money, if maybe you've got some more in the bank there, you can probably do that one there.
I did poo-poo your Houston stuff earlier in the week, but I'm having an existential crisis. So
look who comes around.
Now, we do see the super chat here from Ringleader, and we appreciate it. Do you think we should do some spicy takes and then come back around
to super chat? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's have a look at some spicy takes. Oh, just got them out at the end. They've been sitting there for quite some time.
Gathering dust.
Yeah, so it took a little bit of to get them off the thing. Now, before we do spicy takes this week, of course, you know the drill, guys. Get your spicy take in the chat. But spicy take's going to look just slightly different this year. I've decided I want to keep Mitch accountable. And so what we're going to do is we are going to keep a bit of a running tally. So, rules for the spicy takes this year.
Rules for the spicy takes? What is this?
Just listen in.
Okay.
Rules for the spicy takes. So, the spicy take has to be able to be verified, good word,
yes.
By the end of the week. Okay, so
damn it! I can't say something that we're going to forget about.
You used to pull this like, Jagger Smith will be the best scoring player in the next decade. That kind of shit. That's not going to fly. That shit's not going to fly this year. So it has to be verified. But in order to keep you accountable as well, I've actually employed some friends. I've employed the friends from the Ball Boys Patreon, because what's going to happen this year is
those guys are smart.
Not only will you and myself be submitting a spicy take, but I'm waving this around like it's a magic wand. But the Ball Boys Patreon, okay, as a collective, in a sense, are going to be submitting a spicy take as well.
Okay, so there's a three-way tally going on.
It's a three-way, and it's one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah.
So
there's nothing better than a three-way.
The way that we're going to decide for the Ball Boys Patreon who's going to be submitting their spicy take is we're going to take the highest scoring Patreon member from the previous round. They will get the honour of presenting their spicy take.
Or the curse.
On the live show. Depends how you look at it. and then we'll keep the tally through the
Okay,
year, and
all
we'll
right.
see who is the spiciest of them all.
Okay.
In this particular instance, we obviously don't have a highest previous round scorer, so we have employed the help of one of our Patreon members, Clanger, to jump in, and he's given us the first spicy take of the year. But we might save Clangers for last.
Okay.
And you can
keep me
lead us
guessing.
off.
All right, well,
if you do want to get in on the action and be eligible to chuck in your spicy take, jump on over to ballboys.com/Patreon and get amongst it.
Get amongst it. Be the third ball boy, as it would.
As it
Maybe.
were.
Some might say that. My spicy take, and this is spicy because no one fucking owns this guy.
Yeah.
Jai Caldwell. I'm doubling down, mozzing myself, and I'm going to say Jai Caldwell walks out of round one with the highest...
Shake him. Shake him.
The highest score of the round, and we look like fucking rock stars.
We fucking look like rock stars, huh? And now we are a fucking bunch of wanker.
Cut the end of that soundtrack off. We don't want to look like a bunch of wankers, but
no wankers.
Rock stars it is.
Yeah,
this
mate.
week.
This guy scored a 146 against Hawthorn last year, and I know that they're typically a red matchup on the scale, but Caldwell doesn't give a fuck. He's going to come out and bang one out, another 140.
I normally like poo-pooing your spicy takes, but I'll get behind that.
Yeah, let's hope.
That would be
Let's hope.
sweet vindication.
I actually quite like yours here too.
Okay, what is my spicy take? Well, in keeping the alignment with the self-serving podcast that we run here, I think that in a sick turn of events, Mitch and I have actually won Rookie Roulette this week.
We're playing 40 checks.
Because you know what, Grill? Park your 90-odd because the Frenchman Jacques and Lindsay incoming
hundreds
for the boys.
They're going to score
For the
more.
boys. I mean, I'm not sure it gets spicier than that.
That's pretty fucking
It
spicy.
feels pretty spicy, but that's what the segment's about. So Jacques, Lindsay outscore Grill for the Ox Shorts, the Ox Shits, or the Ox... I can't remember what they are at the moment. And we win Rookie Roulette.
We win Rookie Roulette.
We win. What do we do to it? Quick crash.
Get some quash.
Bit of an inside joke. Jump on the Patreon if you need.
Get it.
Jump on the Patreon.
Okay, well, give me Clanger's spicy take, who is probably gonna
this is
get our ridiculous ones.
We love you, Clanger, but this is the last spicy take you ever do because this could be the down.
It's not the optimistic take.
This could be the downfall. This could be the spiciest take of the year. Is that Zach Butters gets a bit of attention on the weekend and drops a stinky sub 80 score and ruins not only my fantasy team, but probably my life.
That's accurate.
You probably wouldn't see us next week.
And Clangers would have made this spicy take knowing that I had Butters at number one on the big boys because he's a Patreon member. He saw that yesterday and he went, fuck you, Mitch, you're an idiot. What are you doing? So we'll see.
But it is a spicy take at the end of the day. So hopefully it doesn't come true. So scoreboard. We're going to get the first results on the scoreboard on Monday's show. We'll review the spicy takes and see who's in the lead after round one.
Absolutely. We'll see. Hopefully it's a 0-all draw. No, ours will get up. Ours will get up for sure. It'll be 1-1-0.
Okay. I mean, we've been waffling. How long have we been going?
Just a cool 43 minutes. Let's pump this baby out to an hour, I reckon, and give ourselves a good bit of time to answer some of these questions. Get them in on the comments or the chat on the YouTube, guys. I think we've got to go back to a super chat there,
we do.
which was a very generous one. So make sure we get to that one first. From the Ringleader Man 99. All right. So he says, hi, guys. Great to have the live show back. Need a mid and utility rookie. Dersma, Sharp, Carroll / any basement. So it's a two-parter. That's part one. I would say of all those guys you have to have, I think you have to have Carroll. 70, was it 76 or 78?
It's got the the baked-in price rise.
Baked-in price, 78. Break-even, -45. He's cheaper than Dersma. He's got a decent role, mature age, 23-year-old. I think he's the guy you have to have.
Yeah.
So you could say he's either mid or utility. The next best, who do you think?
In terms of Dersma or Sharp?
Dersma, Sharp, or any basement rookie.
I am, and I'm going to assume that you have. Who am I? Oh no. I'm going to say. Blamiers. If you don't,
Blamiers would be
Richard Blamirez. Wait, was he a cannibal? I was about to do the, but I don't.
I don't know. You've made up this story.
I don't know if he ate people.
I don't know if this is a common name that people know who you're talking
A
about.
little bit of serial killer gear. There'll be people. There's people that love that kind of shit as much as me.
You're a true crime.
I don't know if Richard Ramirez was a serial killer. Derailed. Blamires, yes, I'm going to elevate him up, I think, for the role and the scoring potential that we saw.
I agree.
But then I'm going to put Dersma ahead of Sharp, just in terms of the just out-and-out job security. And I agree. Think that he looks great in his role.
I think Sharp's going to play forward. So he'll probably get forward status. But I think, job security a little bit more shaky. Didn't really wow us in the preseason game. So, I agree. Dersma over Sharp, Carroll over them both, and probably Blamires over all of them if you don't have him.
Second part of the question, Steele versus Anderson. Steele, people are nervous.
People are nervous.
Are you nervous?
There's enough people that I respect that are nervous that it makes me nervous. But I think he's going to be fine. I don't know if he's going to be a knockout pick, but he's got no bye. He's versing St Kilda. Revenge game.
Oh, so much revenge.
He is the only, experienced midfielder at Melbourne. And last year, even as old as he is and as slow as he seems to be, he still averaged on the games where he wasn't the sub, 105 or 102 or something like that. It was still decent, right?
That's the thing that's kind of just tipping me over the edge to stick fat with Steele is the fact that we're not just looking at okay, it's a new club, he's going to pop big scores. We're looking at vested games. We're looking at games where he played in the forward pocket. What the fuck is Jack Steele doing in the forward pocket?
Yep.
So he's going to go. He's been guaranteed. You are our number one midfielder. He's going to try and be vindicated in that choice, and I think that they're going to do everything they can. So my fingers are crossed for Jack Steele. I'm still on and still confident there.
Nice.
We got another super chat, so we'll get through the super chats and then we'll get to some of the other ones. So Todd Marshall here for Henza, F6. He's been in your team at F6.
He was in my team until last night. I traded him out to get the cash to get Vicentini, but I think if we go back to that Robertson v Lombard question to field, I actually think that Todd Marshall's probably the guy I'd field over either of them. And if that means you can get rid of a Doveston, I think that third forward rookie is probably the shakiest. We all love Lombard, we all love Robertson to have in our sides. Doveston is probably the default next guy, but if you can avoid having him altogether, I think that's a leg up. So I like it as a play.
I know I'm being short-sighted, but we just said defenders against North Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's very short-sighted of me.
Yeah, but then they go Essendon, Richmond, West Coast, which are all green.
Look, here's all I'll say. If you feel like your team is a little bit without a rudder, a little bit wayward, and you need someone to marshal the troops,
nice.
Easy guy.
Let's
go.
So North, they're orange on the scale, but then they go green, Essendon, West Coast neutral, Richmond dark green, number one team, I think outside, or even more so than St Kilda for defenders. So it's a good start to this season. And St Kilda after as well. So.
Next super chat, and we really appreciate it, is Pietro.
Bonacina.
Let's go, Pietro.
Big super chat. Thank you very much, mate. That's very generous.
We appreciate it. Pietro says, so good to be back. Diversifying currency portfolio. Yeah, nice.
He's gone.
What do we...
I just saw the $50. Maybe, what is that? Is that $2?
Hong Kong dollars. we just got 50 cents. That's unbelievable.
I thought it was very generous. Maybe it's not. I have no idea.
we got to check. We got to check the conversion rate. Pietro wants us to pick a combo here. So the combos are Mitch, Berg and Rochelle.
Okay.
Or Robertson Reed.
Okay.
Or Whitfield and Gallup.
Scratch the last one.
Okay.
I am going... Is Reed Murphy Reed? I'm assuming it's Murphy because they've all been forwards. I'm going to go number one, Berg and Rochelle.
You're going to go Berg sight unseen.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
I want to pick the Berg, don't I?
I think he'll be fine, mate.
I hope there's a scenario
if
where
you're
the Berg
playing Watkins, if Watkins is making your side, you've got room for Bergman to play in the midfield.
Cop that drive by Port Adelaide.
Well, I'm just saying, if there's that much of a need for a midfield spot, clearly he's in there.
Rosie halfback,
maybe. I think it's fine. I'm cooling on Roberts a little bit.
Just because you're so high on Caldwell.
Because I'm high on Caldwell, and because I think we've seen, for example, in round 0, we saw Philippou. He was in there in the midfield for heaps, and then not in the midfield in the real stuff. I think that there's a real chance that someone like a Roberts, being a third-year player, young guy, he's playing preseason games inside mid, and it's more as like you'll eventually be there, so here's some reps while it doesn't matter. But when the real stuff starts, back to halfback you go.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that there's enough upside at his price, because his price is 87.
He's expensive, yeah.
So for that reason, I'm going Berg and Rochelle, who's probably the favourite forward that you listed there for me. I know you're not as keen on Rochelle.
Oh, I'm so nervous. I am. Let's keep moving through, guys. We are getting to those super chats, so we very much appreciate it. So this one's from Nah Surely, which is...
Surely.
Thoughts on Pickett? 80 plus for Pickett. What do you think?
100%. I think he's going 80 plus. The problem is he's priced that way. Or are you talking about Latrell Pickett? Surely not. We're not talking Latrell.
We're talking Cozzy, I believe.
I believe. So Cozzy Pickett is priced at 87. So he has to go that to be a good pick. I think he probably has to go 90 plus, and even then he probably needs to go 93, 94 to be a good pick. I don't think he can do that. I think he's probably going to be similar to what he was last year, mid to high 80s. And I think that's just... I think you're better off chasing a higher risk but higher upside play, personally.
Byron has a question, which I think is a very, very valid one, and that is Rochelle versus Murphy Reid. So I don't think you watched the Murphy Reid Amy series game, did you? This was me reporting to you, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. Or I might have started watching it and then... Was that against Adelaide?
If Murphy
Reid...
I
watched that. That was the first quarter, and then I went to study Philippou.
Yes, nice. And how was that study?
It was horrible. Found out he was shit.
It was a prac lesson. Yeah. Let's just put it that way.
It was, yeah.
If Murphy Reid plays the role that he played in that practice game all year, then that's just about the best role you can. That's almost better than a midfield role, because that was
challenge.
That was the do whatever the fuck you want role.
No,
that was the do whatever the fuck you want role.
Not every player can do that.
Hear me out. Okay, these are the concerns. So if he plays that role, I think he's upside, because he's effectively a midfielder.
He's underpriced.
Let me get to my butt.
Go on.
Let me get to my butt. So the butt, the butt is that they're not going to walk over teams every fucking week to the point where they can just say, you go and do whatever the fuck you want.
No.
The game script is just not going to be like that. And I think there's going to be times where he's going to have to play a more traditional, like high half forward role, or even a traditional small forward role. So I can definitely see a world where Murphy Reid's a great pick. I'm nervous about that role being like a sustainable all year kind of thing.
You've got Caleb Sarong.
You've got a gun midfield.
You've got Andrew Brayshaw. You got the top knot himself, Hayden Young. You got Luke fucking Jackson, who, Sean Darcy's named. So Luke Jackson probably playing a little bit of midfield. Yeah. You've got players like Matthew Johnson. You've got players like Rasmus. These guys that go in there. Shea Bolton goes in there sometimes. There's not enough room in a team that scored poorly as a collective. Yeah. I really struggle to see how he's going to be a guy that we are, after round one, scrambling to get into our side. He will have good games, but I don't think I can go there round one.
All right, we're working our way down the questions, guys. So if you had a question that wasn't answered before, chuck it in the bottom. We'll kind of keep picking them off from the bottom. Mitch, what can you see there for us?
Bomber wants to know when the Bundy round is.
No.
When's the Bundy? It was almost going to be today because I didn't think we had any beers.
I thought we agreed we weren't going to read those questions. We weren't going to draw attention to that.
Depends how much money you send our way.
It will. We are dirty.
We have a cost.
We are.
Our soul can be bought.
Yes, we're working on the corner here.
We can't do it every week, guys. We can't do it every week.
This is the digital equivalent of the corner.
Yeah, it is.
We are here. We can be bought. But no, we can't do it every week because we'll be in trouble with the better halves.
Parrish simply asked Lachlan.
Yeah.
Some people are panicking on Darcy Parrish. Are you one of them?
No, and the reason I'm not is because he, compared to what he can do, is so cheap. And the other thing that I'm trying to reassure myself in my mind is, like, he doesn't play another position. Like, what?
No.
Do you know? If I've got an option, even though I like Zach Merritt as a midfielder better than I do Darcy Parrish, okay, I like Zach Merritt as a forward way more than I do Darcy Parrish as a forward.
1,000,000%. Or as a defender, or as a wing, or anything else. Yeah.
So if you're Essendon and you're kind of going, okay, well, where does that leave us? Then you're probably like, oh, okay, well, I mean, Parrish more midfield time. And the fact of it is if Parrish is A, healthy, and B, even gets a little sniff of that midfield, and I'm talking like a 40% sniff, I think he's unders over the course of the season.
Unders. I'm tempering expectation that I don't think he's going to be the 100 averaging player, which he has still been when he gets 60+% or more CBAs in the last 3 years. But but maybe he's more of a 90s guy. That's still like 20 points unders. So I am still, I'm not worried about Parrish. And like I said before about Roberts, I think when the real stuff starts, you're going to see, it's going to be Merritt, Parrish, Caldwell as their main three. Durham and Roberts maybe sort of the fourth and fifth guys in there as well. But I think, those are going to be your mainstays.
Yeah, for sure. I saw that Bales is in the chat. We appreciate you jumping in as always, Bales. Just asked who we have in the Content Creators Cup.
Oh,
I've got Louis in the Content Creators Cup, and I might need to have a little bit of a word to the Warn Dog because
the team name.
Louis' team name is awesome, by the way. I've got Louis. His team name is Hawk to Pin on it.
Pick that thing. I had a good chuckle at that.
No, but the reason I want to have a chat with the Warn Dogs is because we're equal on points after the first game.
But you're
and
he's
got a 75% win rating.
Yeah, I don't quite get the win rating thing going on here.
So the new system's just decided that my team's dog shit, which to be fair is accurate.
Yeah.
Mitch is taking on Pom United. So.
I'm taking on Pom United. Also, given the short straw, I am 90 points down because Pom United did have Sam Grill on field.
Because he's a good coach, mate.
He is a good coach.
You've got to learn how to do that.
But the other one I also thought was pretty funny. I was looking down the list of things here. DT Lemon versus Jeppers Juniors, both on 199. Same players on field so far. Jeppers Junior, 81% chance to win. And Gorringes and Lemons, 19% chance.
Cop that.
Just doesn't like lemons, I don't think. The algorithm does.
Leaves a sour taste.
So we'll have to monitor this win percentage thing and see if it's got any truth to it.
Okay, Max Hardcastle. Strong name, Max.
That's a very strong name.
Thoughts on Luke Jackson to Gorn?
I wonder how Max goes at making sandcastles. Does he have a hard time? Because they're quite soft, or
not your best, mate.
No, okay.
Not your best. Back to the drawing board.
Okay,
sorry.
Hard castles. Bit of a, take all the shots you want.
You're not picking Luke Jackson based on
I
Sean Darcy named.
Well, based on any ruck being named, sure. Look, Sean Darcy could end up actually being better for Luke Jackson than Cox. Cox out usually is a good thing.
Depends your goals.
Yeah, depends your goals.
Depends on your
but
goals.
Sean Darcy can't play more than half a game. So from that point of view,
no, I'm not.
It might be better, but I'm still. I'm not Luke Jackson, man. I want him to be sole ruck, and until I see that, I don't want him on my side.
Yep. Matt's question here: Dawson and Caldwell, or Nakos and Goulden? Little midfield combination there.
I'm going the guys without the buys.
The guys without the buys?
Yeah, I'm going with the guys without the buys.
Yeah.
I reckon Goulden... Sorry, was one of them Goulden? No.
Yeah, Dawson and Caldwell versus Dacos and Goulden.
I do like Goulden. But Dacos... Goulden, I like Goulden.
Could you go Goulden and Caldwell?
I mean, that's what I've done. I think you'd be able to afford both. Dacos is... He's a fucking gun. But he's such a gun that every week there's going to be some sort of attention. I think he's not going to have it as easy this week against Adelaide. I think we'll get a chance to get him in at some point. Early buy. I think when you're paying over 100, having an early buy on your side is never a good thing.
Does have a score on the board.
Does have a score on the board. It was a big score, but we know Dagos can do that. It hasn't changed my mind on what he can do. Dinos says that Sherry is going to silence the world, and I don't disagree.
No, it wouldn't surprise me if he
would
does.
Go massive. He did make the big boys, the top 10.
Yeah.
And I had no idea where to put him. He didn't make top 5, which could end up looking silly.
We wouldn't.
I'll give you this. He's the second highest ruck on my projections for this week.
We've seen this before, haven't we, in pre-seasons? And I know, I'm not talking about a huge sample size, but where he just kind of has been going through the motions, or even kind of getting that feel-out process sorted, and then he comes out and he does his thing. So, I don't think it's a crazy take, that one. Okay, Noodle's question here is says anyone in the chat, but we are, I guess, participants in the chat. So,
we're there.
Anyone in the chat not doing McAndrew at R2, what are your thoughts on just generally, is there a scenario where you could even be swayed to McAndrew at R3? Or is he I'm going to say that good a rookie, but he's a rookie that we expect to be a good scoring rookie that you just have to get him on field. Is that the situation we're in?
I think it's that, plus the fact that if you're not going to have him on field, who are you going to have him on field? Because there's not many other options. Like, honestly, if I was forced to play a different ruck on my R2 spot, it might be Grundy. And I might just go the 2 round 3 guys, and I've got McAndrew there to cover one of them, play 21 in round 3. And just go the guys that I think stand the most chance to not drop in price.
Yeah, fair.
But that's the thing. It's like, if you're not going McAndrew, who are you going? Who do you have confidence in? I don't have confidence in many of them.
Yeah. Brendan here says that he's going to cancel the Patreon subscription because he had to ask about Noble. I mean, the thing is, Brendan, there are a lot of chats coming in, but the benefit that you have is that you can just DM us as well. So if we don't get to your question, because
Threatening us.
they are coming through, there is no need to threaten us, but just DM us instead, and we will...
John Noble, your thoughts though? What did he score in round 0? What did John Noble score in round 0? I can't even remember.
Noble is a no
115
for me.
Is it no for you?
He's also expensive. He's about to have a buy. I mean, what's his
West Coast?
What's his break even?
51.
It is low.
What's he? 953k. He would have to be top 6 defender level to be a worthy pick.
Right.
And I don't see it.
And Brendan, I don't know your situation right now, but in the context, like if it's Noble or Houston,
Noble or Josh Dacos, like he's at a similar price too.
So then you're getting Houston and you're getting one of those guys?
Yeah.
Are you?
Well, probably not, but I'm just saying, like, there's a few other options. Like, if you're going to go like a more premium type to Houston, like, I actually probably prefer Josh Dacos than I do Noble, but it's a hard stretch for me to see him as a top 6 defender.
Okay, let's answer 2 more questions because we always want to let these guys have a fiddle with their teams before the game starts. Let's go with Toby Green and Parrish or Windhager and Connor McDonald asks Dinos.
Ooh. Toby Green and Parrish. I still liked what I saw from Connor McDonald. The reason he's not in my side is more to do with the fact of a round 3 structure. The fact that Petrarca went really well and Connor Buderick went really well. I like what I see from Errol. I'm starting a Tim English. So the only reason Connor McDonald is not in my side right now is because he has the round 3 bye. So if you are not starting one of those other 3 players in Petrarca, English, Errol, then I think you can go McDonald. If you are starting those 3 guys and also probably a Buderick, I think it's too many because you're probably also going to have a Lombard on your forward bench. So if you've got a round 3 ruckman, you're probably playing 20 in round 3 instead of 22. I think that's too short. So I think the answer to that question lies on how many of those round 3 guys you have.
Okay, last question here from Eskimo. Who is currently your lowest percentage owned player?
He's playing tonight.
Oofed.
He's playing tonight, and is he my most expensive? No, he's not quite my most expensive. He's my fourth most expensive player, Jai Caldwell, 3.8%.
That's an island.
It's an island I'm happy to be on.
Okay, you're sipping mojitos.
I'm sipping mojitos. I'm not too stressed. I think he'll be fine.
We could be very cranky or very happy at the end of tonight's game.
Yep. This could be... You know what this reminds me of? You know the year that we started Bailey Smith at the Bulldogs? Kind of reminds me a bit like that. He was kind of a bit more lowly owned and about a similar price. We're hoping he could go up.
Didn't go well.
Yeah, it didn't go well. Played a bit more forward time.
Oh, great.
I feel more confident about this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good to hear.
Feel more confident about this one.
Oh, first live show.
First live show. In the books, guys.
In the books. Thank you very much to everyone for tuning in, guys. Sorry that we can't get to everyone's questions in the comments. There's a lot of them coming in, but we do appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Hopefully we hit on all the big major things, but yeah.
So from here on in, it's obviously going to be the Monday reviews.
Yep.
You'll see them coming out, and then the Friday live shows. If you do want additional content, you're welcome to jump over to the Patreon, ballboys.com/Patreon for
2 more podcasts over there.
Yeah, Wednesday Q&As, Ball Boys All-Stars. We got Big Boys coming out. We got Mitch's Trade Targets.
Trade Targets will be happening as of next week, yep.
So lots of extra content. If you are interested, you are more than welcome to jump over there. Or if you just enjoy seeing us on the live show and chatting, then we appreciate you being here as well.
And just, massive shout out to everyone who's interacted with our content, viewed the YouTube videos, listened to the podcast, liked any of our Twitter posts. It's been a big effort from both of us, especially this man here. He's done a mountain of work in the preseason. So thank you, Luke, for everything you do for the Ball Boys. Very much appreciated. And thank you very much to all you guys. This is why we do it. And good luck to everyone in round 1. The start of the marathon begins now. We're going to pace ourselves. We're going to pace ourselves from here.
The toys are going to be out of the cot at some point this weekend. I absolutely know it.
Let's have some fun and watch some footy, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Bye!